Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Duncan McCollum coming to you from McCollum Wellness Radio. What a beautiful day to be alive, beautiful day to be in Santa Cruz, and I'm very happy to be on the air. I have a great friend of mine that's joining me today. We're going to be talking about mushrooms, and it should be a really fun show. Culinary mushrooms and some of the medicinal purposes that they, will impart on you. And uh, Chris Phillips, we've been friends for, gosh, 20 years?
Yeah,
Yeah, ever since you moved into town or close to it.
absolutely.
Yeah, and we've been through a few journeys together, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow. Well, I love mushrooms. I love Santa Cruz. I came here, I like to say at the turn of the century, because it's fun to say that.
Yeah,
Came around
I
1999.
thought you said you were going to come around the Cape of Good Horn or something like
Yeah,
that.
same difference. And actually, I had a friend who was moving out here and invited me to come and check it out. We came for a weekend, and I just fell in love with Santa Cruz. I was like, wow, where have you been all my life, Santa Cruz?
Yeah,
This
no
is where I
kidding.
should live.
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, I moved here and have been here mostly ever since. I took off to Kansas for a year or so to find my wife,
Uh-huh.
married her and brought her back.
Wow. So
And
you're not in Kansas anymore.
not in Kansas
Yeah.
anymore. Neither is she, and she's grateful.
Yeah, no. Tiffany, she's awesome.
She is. I'm blessed. I definitely married up.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, I started my own business, went into construction. I was a glass contractor. I
A
got my wife
glazer.
a glazer.
Yeah, but you come from a whole family of glazers.
I come from a line of glazers. My
That's
dad was a glazer, my older brother was a glazer, and I tried not to, but I couldn't escape. It caught up with me. I got into it, and I realized once I started doing it that I had a real aptitude for it,
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. I guess it was just in my genes.
exactly. It kind of reminds me of that movie, My Cousin Vinny, and Marie Telmore, whatever her name is, that says, I come from my father was a mechanic, my brother's a mechanic, my uncle's a mechanic. So you're all from Glazers. And that you've told some pretty interesting stories, the high rises that you've worked on. And, you were in Las Vegas for a while being a Glazer. That must have been interesting.
It really was. Yeah. Las Vegas is really where I grew up and cut my teeth in the glass industry. So my dad was, very involved there in the union and stuff like that. And then my brother, my older brother, he's 5 years older than me.
That's great, right?
Greg,
Yeah.
right. And he went into the industry. And like I said, I kind of tried to avoid it, but I was in my early 20s and I was sitting and having a conversation with my dad.
Hmm.
And he mentioned just in passing how much money he was making.
Hmm.
And I said, "What? You make that much money?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that's if I work, regular 40-hour week."
Yeah.
I was like, "Man,
It's being very transparent, I guess.
yeah, well,
No pun intended.
exactly." Well, I was at that age, I wasn't a teenager anymore and I was on my own.
Yeah.
So he felt comfortable letting me in on, some of this background information that you wouldn't really tell your kids, right? But I was like, sign me up. So got into it, went to work on a lot of the high rises there in Las Vegas. It was great in those days. I guess that would have been the 80s.
Hmm.
Money was no object,
Yeah.
just flowing like water. That was back when Steve Wynn was building stuff.
Hmm.
Worked on some of his projects.
Wow.
Worked on the Luxor when it was built.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes,
Wow.
worked on that for a year or two. Like every glass shop in Las Vegas was on that job.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
So that's good. And when I met you, the first time I met you, you joined our group Latip, which I talked about last week, and I had RJ Robinson, who you know from My
I
Floors.
do.
And but you were showcase. What was it? It wasn't just specific for shower doors at that point. You did cabinets and you did a lot of stuff, and you found a niche, which was great. But the cool thing is you've been an entrepreneur for all these years, and you keep finding things that interested you. And now you got into this thing with the mushrooms, which obviously you threw everything aside and said, this is it. And it's pretty cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I love being in business for myself. I have a different philosophy of business than I did when I started uh, all those years ago. Back then, I thought, you're in business just to make money, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
So just make money and don't really worry about anything else. I'm not here to create jobs or make the world a better place or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just business. And I have a completely different view of that now. I'm a bit older now, a bit more mature, and
Hmm.
hopefully a bit wiser. And I came to this point where I realized there really wasn't that much of a future in what I was doing. I mean, I wasn't in love with shower doors.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice. I appreciate it. Grateful to the industry. Did a lot for me, and I feel like, I gave a lot back.
Yeah. You started a whole online group with tons of people. How did that go? Just out of, briefly tell us about that. Because I think one of the reasons for your success is because you think outside of the box without even thinking outside of the box. It's just part of your nature. And that is one of the cool things about people that are successful is there is no box. I just thought of that. What box? This is what I'm interested in doing now, and that's what I'm going to do.
Right. Yeah, where is the box? I left it long ago.
Exactly. The world's round anyway.
Right, exactly. It's funny because I've always had a hobby of computers. I like technology. Got into it back before everybody had a PC. And I was on Facebook back, this is now probably 15 years ago or something. They started these things they called groups,
Hmm.
Facebook groups. And you could just make a group. And I thought, wow, maybe it'd be cool to make a group for shower door
Uh-huh.
installers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if like anybody would actually join it,
Yeah.
but what the heck? It's what I'm doing. It's what I know. And so I did. And yeah, you just kind of ignored it. It was just back on the back burner for quite a while. And a few years later, I started thinking, oh, maybe I'll just put a little effort into this. And I did. And the group started to grow. People started to join it. And shower door installers, glazers in general, are just very proud of their work
Yeah.
and love to take photos, love to post them, love to brag.
Yeah.
And so it got a lot of traction. People started getting on there, posting photos of their work and, making fun of each other. And you know how guys do.
Yeah.
And and it started to grow and grow and grow. And I just made a policy that, hey, you can be on here, have fun, you can brag, you can show off, but you're going to be respectful.
Yeah.
And if you're disrespectful, you're out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I had to, kick a couple people out of the group just for
Uh-huh.
just, I mean, you have to go pretty far for me to get offended, right?
Yeah.
But I think the result of that is it created a place that was safe for people to ask questions, get help.
Hmm.
And the group's grown to over 5,000 members.
Wow. That's amazing. Giving me goosebumps.
It gave me goosebumps too. That's funny. We're sharing the goosebump thing.
Yeah, right. That's kind of like a mushroom. They pop up everywhere too. Right?
They do. It's
Yeah.
that mycological network is
Yeah,
happening.
that's
right.
right. That's exactly. They're breathing through the air. We're getting these spores going out between us.
My wife swears that spores and being exposed to them the way that I have cured my hay fever.
Huh. Well, I believe it totally.
You remember how I used to have hay fever so bad?
Yeah.
And you helped me out with some you gave me something or you told me. Yeah.
Yeah, Antronex.
Man, it was amazing how
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah, that's the universal solvent for everything. It's like I always say it's like Windex on my big fat Greek wedding, that thing that grandpa uses. Anybody ever has any kind of inflammatory thing, you got to get Antronex from Standard Process. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Well, and just on that, because we're talking about mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, culinary mushrooms, but the fact that, the spores and the mycelium network is extant. It's like the biggest thing in the universe or in our world. It's everywhere.
Ubiquitous, I like to say.
Ubiquitous, yeah. And so it does inoculate us. The spores and the mushrooms will inoculate us to our environment. And it will, when we get inoculated, that means our body builds up an immunity to, or tolerance to things like pollen or whatever. So that's not, your wife is, brilliant because it's actually the truth of how these things work.
Yeah, well, she's an observer
Hmm.
and sees it from a totally different angle than I do.
Yeah,
But she put it all together, and yeah, she's convinced that that's really what cured. And I used to really suffer
I remember.
with seasonal allergy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was
And
terrible.
I have a lot of people that do, and I just in the office, I go, here, take 3 of these and let me know. And pretty soon they're going, that's the best stuff in the world. My daughter's just taking off on a trip for with my grandson, left the
No,
day. Yeah, exactly. And they're going to be gone for 10 weeks. Their company gave him 4 months paternity leave, believe it or not. I worked for the wrong person. Oh, that's me.
wow, I know. I
But
have the
they're gonna
same
travel.
problem.
They're traveling around. But she's got all those things. She's got the Antranex and all those other medicinal things that we know will help your immune system stay strong no matter what environment you're in. So, but all right, so back to your story.
Yeah, food is medicine.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I know that,
Well, that's what comes all the way back to Aristotle and all those guys. I think it's Hippocrates said food is your best medicine and medicine's your best food. So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a big believer of that in that. Only in recent times did I really start to discover all these things about health. And, you were a huge part of my health journey. I have to say that. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I mean, we've been friends for a long time,
yeah,
but, when we were in that networking group together,
yeah,
and when you'd share about what you do and chiropractic, you would always talk about, the spinal cord, how it goes through your spine, and if you get subluxations, it prevents those signals from going out through your spine to every part of your body, and that that has to be bad.
yeah,
And it just made sense to me, scientifically. Now I've got this kind of I love science.
uh-huh,
I get to do science for a
yeah.
job every day.
Oh, that's cool.
But I just it made sense to me, and I came and saw you, and you told me I didn't think I was unhealthy or anything. I felt like I was in pretty good shape, but I had a couple little issues. This is how I perceived myself at that time.
Yeah, yeah,
And you prescribed a treatment program that was pretty extensive, probably
yeah,
more than what I thought I really needed,
yeah,
but I trusted you, and I went along with that. And I completed that process, and you put me on to wellness.
yeah,
This has probably been 15 years ago,
probably, yeah,
and I still go to your office twice a week to this day.
yeah,
Um, but anyway, along that journey, I think it was, I don't know, a year or two into my treatment, you said something to me about my weight.
mm-hmm.
Now, if you're just like listening at home, you can't see me. I'm 5'5". And at my highest weight, when I weighed in, when I started to on my weight loss journey, I was at 249.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
I was big.
Yeah,
I was rotund. And Duncan, I remember you saying to me, said something to me about it. It was kind of like the elephant in the room, so to speak.
yeah. And sometimes it is. We can't see it.
But my breathing was labored, and that was the
Yeah.
thing you pointed out. I was like, wow, you're really
I
having trouble.
remember.
Do you remember
Now
that?
that you say that, you're giving me goosebumps again. I remember saying that to you.
I
Yeah,
remember it too.
yeah,
That was, I think, a pivot point
uh-huh,
in my life to where it was something about you saying it, because you're someone who I really admire
mhm.
and trust. And I
Thanks.
knew that you were saying it because you love me
Yeah,
and you care about me. So I really took that to heart, and I decided to do something about it. And I changed the way that I ate. And basically it's just like keeping track of what I was eating, and
yeah,
budgeting my food,
exactly.
becoming a little bit more active. And I started to lose weight.
Is that when you started going mushroom hunting? Is
It
that some of
actually,
your activity? Some of your action?
that is actually right.
Yeah,
I really don't like the gym.
yeah,
I was looking for something to do to be more active. And I heard about this foraging for mushrooms. And I love mushrooms.
yeah,
I always have. And I thought, wow, that would be fun. I should check into that, see what that's like. And get me outside, get me out in the nature
yeah,
and hiking around and stuff. And I started doing it, and man, I'll tell you, I fell in love with that.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I'm going.
Yeah,
It's raining. I'm going.
it's true. It's true. And it really did help with the weight loss.
Yeah.
I ended up losing 80 pounds.
Wow.
Now I put back on about 15.
Uh-huh.
We're kind of getting that back
Well,
up.
you
But
find your body finds its plateau. I mean, not everybody has to be their high school weight to be
right,
healthy. In fact, a lot of people try to get there and they'll lose muscle mass. So
right.
your body's amazing. It's
Hmm.
got this innate ability to understand where it needs to be. And we think too much, or eat too much, or whatever we do, sit too much. And once we start to let the body function, then it's going to do what it needs to do. But I'm really proud of you, Chris, because you really did take a huge uh, part in your health, everything. I remember too the one day you came in and you'd hurt your knee,
Yes.
and you were on stage playing music, and you come in and go, I hurt my knee, and I think you were looking at going to get surgery or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it more than just a little bit.
Yeah,
You're right, I was on stage. I ran out on stage. It was a concrete stage.
yeah,
And I took my last step and my knee just went out. It was like, I don't know, hyperextended or just like it was bending the wrong way.
yeah,
And I went down and got back up and I couldn't put any weight on it.
yeah. Wasn't
And
pretty.
oh no, it was terrible. And I went and got an X-ray. The X-rays didn't show anything, but they said, oh, you need to get an MRI. So what actually happened was I came to see you and I told you about it, and I was asking you about an MRI, I think,
Hmm.
if you knew where to send me to get one. And what you said was something along the lines, yeah, you get an MRI. But why don't we just treat it for a while and just see what happens? And wow, if you didn't just fix the problem, or I mean, it didn't happen overnight. It
Yeah,
took like months or probably like a year
yeah,
of just being. You just adjusted my knee.
yeah.
You just every time I came in, and man, I rarely notice it.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure if I'd gone to like a doctor, an MD, that he would have suggested surgery.
Perhaps, and if I felt like that was that bad, I would have told you. But looking at the situation, it was like, typically, and you're going to do that stuff to either do some kind of surgery or, you know, medication, injections, or burn things or what have you. So it's important. I mean, like when I blew out my appendix, I was in the hospital for 5 days. It was amazing.
Yeah,
But you're here to talk about mushrooms.
that's right.
And I really want to get to that because it's so cool. But I think just getting a little bit of your background and your appreciation for your own health, life, and your curiosity is really cool because you and I started something, it's been several years ago that, what was that? Clubhouse or
Oh yeah, Clubhouse.
was that what it was called?
It was. You found it.
Yeah,
And like people probably know this, but like we've really been pretty good friends over the
yeah,
years. And we both are musicians.
yeah,
So we jam together like quite a bit.
yeah.
And we've done a lot of just stuff outside of the doctor's office sort of thing.
Yeah, and so we started a clubhouse group called It's Your Best Day Ever.
That's right.
And that was fun. We put some time into it, but it ended up not being where we wanted it to go.
Right.
But it was really cool because, and here I have right here, sitting here are my bottles of gratitude right on
Yeah.
the table here,
Vitamin G.
which is pretty cool. But so tell us about how you started. I know you were foraging, you started playing around with growing some of these, and now it's like that's all you do.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I started messing around with it. It was a hobby. I built a little enclosure to start growing mushrooms in. I think I was probably growing 5 pounds of mushrooms every week.
Hmm.
And the more I did it, the more I loved it. And I came to realize, man, this is something that's really a passion for me. Because you know how it is, just like you're describing the clubhouse thing. You try things.
Yeah,
You got to try different things. And
yeah,
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
exactly.
Sometimes you realize, oh, this is really fun until you really start working at it. And that's like, oh, it's not fun as work.
Exactly.
It's fun as fun.
Yeah.
But mushrooms was a thing that was like fun as work. And so I got a second enclosure. It's growing about 10 pounds, and I got a bigger one. And then I started offering them to friends and restaurants. And pretty soon it was just out of hand.
Yeah.
I was doing all this in my little glass shop,
Right.
right? So I was taking a little corner of my glass shop and growing mushrooms there.
Something had to go.
Right.
And since the mushrooms were growing on you, and you've been a glazer for 30 years, it was a new step. And for those of you that are on Facebook and who may watch this later, there's a bouquet here. I'm going to hold it up
All
for
right.
Facebook crowd, but maybe you can kind of explain what we got here. We've got all kinds of beautiful mushrooms. So go ahead and run us through some of the ones you grow, what the medicinal purposes are, or just the culinary purpose of them, and let us know about this. And you're located on 17th Avenue.
Right.
You're
1970, 17th Avenue. We're open right now. My wife's there without me. It's trying to take care of the crowd.
Wow.
Hopefully there's a crowd there.
1970, that was a good year.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of good music that we played came out in 1970.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we grow a lot of lion's mane mushrooms.
Yeah. Wow.
Lion's mane is one of the most studied mushrooms for the benefits of brain health and just the nervous system in general.
Yeah.
They're shown to increase cognitive function, and so there you'll find a lot of lion's mane products out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coffee, tinctures, pills, or powders, supplements of all kinds. But the funny thing about this mushroom is that it's one of the most delicious mushrooms to eat. It's a great culinary mushroom. So that's primarily what we grow. We grow more of that than anything else.
Oh.
We grow a lot of various oyster strains.
Yeah.
It's like what we have here is we have an elm oyster.
Yeah, that's a blonde one kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of a whitish color. The blue oyster, not to be confused with the rock band.
Yeah.
Black pearls, which is also an oyster strain. Golden oysters.
They're beautiful. I haven't seen those before.
They're really nice. I love the fragrance
Uh-huh.
of them. They're just beautiful, and they're very delicate and very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
The pink oyster mushroom, and those two are warm weather strains. They're from Asia, and they don't really like to grow until it gets to be about 65 degrees. But all mushrooms are good for you. They're good for boosting immune function, for inflammation.
Yeah.
In fact, the golden oyster has a lot of the amino acid that is found in lion's mane that's good for cognitive function.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you from, the people that I've studied with, and we had this conversation a while ago, that by, using mushrooms to extract the functional essence out of different types of plants is a kind of a new thing. So some of the our health people like Dr. Plump, who I know really well and work with, he is really loving being able to use the mycelium process of pulling the nutrients out of some of these substrates, they're called, which is like the ground or the bark they're growing on, right?
Yeah.
And pulling that up and making it more digestible. Because some of it, if we ate turmeric, we only get a little bit of the functional stuff in turmeric. Where if you grow a mushroom on the turmeric and then eat the mushroom, it's already taken that turmeric and it's created digestible components that we wouldn't otherwise have. So the thing about mushrooms is, and this is one of the scary things about all of the spraying and everything, is because the ground, all plants utilize fungus in order to absorb the nutrients out of the ground.
Right.
They cannot, a root of a strawberry plant, or let's pick something else, strawberries are controversial. The root of a broccoli plant can't get the nutrients out of the soil without the mycelium of the mushroom that's breaking down the nutrients so that the plant root can digest it.
Yeah.
So imagine what they're doing when we're putting these in our diet on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah, it's true. There's certain species of mushrooms that are known as mycorrhizal mushrooms. And they actually form symbiotic relationships with plants.
Uh-huh.
So mushrooms like chanterelles, for example, are
Yeah.
of this kind. And so they can't grow if they don't have a relationship with usually oak trees, different kinds of trees.
Okay.
And the fungus and the tree exchange nutrients and moisture.
Wow.
And they're hypothesizing that the mycological network that runs through under the ground everywhere is being utilized by plants to communicate with each other.
All plants.
All plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, and I love the idea that concept of it's Dr. Popenow, right?
Yeah.
That you could take, for example, if you had lion's mane and you're growing it, and you could add to the substrate something else that's good for
Ginkgo biloba.
Ginkgo biloba.
Yeah.
Something that's good for brain function.
Yeah.
Imagine there could be some kind of symbiosis that happens that maybe will multiply it by an order of magnitude or something. I mean, it's so exciting because there's so much research left to be done on mushrooms. We just understand just a tiny slice of it.
I know. And, for so many decades and eons, we've looked at anything, like we were just talking to Dave Michaels, and he's telling us about foraging and finding these weird slimy things in the woods, and he goes, I'm not even touching that thing. So we're often afraid of stuff we don't understand.
That is an excellent point.
Yeah.
It's that mycophobia is something that is so common. One of the most common things that people will ask me, once they ask me, what do you do? And I tell them I grow mushrooms.
Yeah.
People will ask, well, aren't you afraid of them being poisonous? Mm-hmm. And that is so interesting that has so permeated the mind of our culture to have fear first.
Yeah.
And I usually explain to people, there's such a thing as a poison berry, right?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say, what? But blueberries aren't poisonous.
Right.
You don't have to worry about your blueberry being poisoned unless somebody poisons it. I mean, there's some stuff that they use that you not want to eat.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, and I'll just let you know I'm one of them. As you recall, a couple weeks ago, my daughter was over at our house, and on our lawn there were these little mushrooms coming up, and the kids, potentially going to crawl around, and I took a picture and sent it to you and go, Chris, what the heck is this? I'm afraid my kid's going to touch it. And you told me something interesting about touching it, and that was?
Yeah, you really can't be harmed by a mushroom just by touching it.
Yeah, and that really relieved me. That was really good. And I think it's good for people to know that. You shouldn't go touching things you don't know about.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, that damn stove was hot every time I touched it.
Yeah, keep your hands to yourself.
Exactly. But, it is a good point. The fear of the mushroom permeates. When anybody says they're going foraging, and even myself, I kind of go, my son was up in the Sierras backpacking, on the east side of the Sierras, and he was with a ranger guy, friend of his, and they found these elephant ear mushrooms or something that were growing off the bark of some tree up there. And he's out in the middle of nowhere, and he goes, yeah, we cooked them up with some fish we caught. And I'm just going, dude, you don't even know how you're going to get out. But, he goes, no, the guy knows it's mushrooms. So how did you come about learning the good ones from the bad ones? And then I really want you to talk more about your store, and because people should experience these. They're just so beautiful.
Thank you, Duncan. Yeah, I love that question. The way you learn about mushrooms is the way you learn about any other topic. You just, one thing at a time, and one building block on another. So what I recommend if somebody really wants to learn about mushrooms is learn about the bad ones first.
No, it's really a good way to go.
All right. There are only really a few species of mushrooms that are super toxic. Talk about your death caps, your destroying angels, things like that. They're really toxic. And what's interesting is that there are other species in that genus that are delicious.
Oh, wow.
But it's best to steer clear of that entire family
Yeah.
of mushrooms when you're starting out.
Yeah.
Learn how to identify them, which is pretty easy. They've got, a few common characteristics. The Amanita family, and just steer clear of those. And then there are some really easy to identify edible mushrooms. Lion's mane.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss that.
It is. There isn't anything that really looks like a lion.
And they grow around here.
They do grow around here.
Yeah, Dave was just telling us.
Yeah. I found them in the wild here in Santa Cruz on forays. So
Taming the wild lion's mane mushroom.
yes. Don't even need a chair.
Yeah.
A whip.
Exactly. So now why don't you just go through some of the medicinal things that you know about the different mushrooms that you grow? I'm not sure what your focus is. I know you just fascinated with them, love to grow them and share them with people. But there is, certain ones are going to help people with certain conditions, and yours are the freshest you can get. I mean, these things, the beautiful bouquet sitting here in front of me.
Thank you. Yes, our slogan is the freshest mushrooms on earth. I don't think you can get mushrooms fresher. They come right off the block at our little farm on 17th Avenue and Live Oak.
Mhm.
And the cool thing is that anybody who comes during regular business hours
Which are
9 to 4, Tuesday through Friday,
Mhm.
and then on Saturday from noon to 3.
Wow.
So just come on in, and if you don't ask to be shown the farm, we'll probably suggest it.
Cool.
We just love to show people around. We love to talk about mushrooms. We're very proud of it.
Mhm.
They're beautiful and they're delicious. And like I was talking about lion's mane and how they help boost cognitive function. But they're also really great for boosting your immune system.
Mhm.
They help with inflammation. And various mushrooms have more or less of certain benefits. We do make some tinctures. We have some other products. We make this candy.
Oh yeah, you tell me about that.
You're gonna have to try this.
I
This is
will.
candy cap mushroom toffee
Mm.
covered in dark chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
got my name all over it.
a little bit dangerous. Got to be. I start with a small box.
Okay. So you sell that too?
Yes.
Mhm.
And so candy cap mushrooms are locally foraged wild mushroom that come out in the fall.
Uh-huh.
And
Do you grow them or you just?
No.
Oh.
So it's another one of those mushrooms that you can't grow.
Okay.
You have to find in the wild.
Huh.
But they are really unique in that they have an aroma that's similar to brown sugar or maple syrup
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
cooked.
Yeah, and you can tell by smelling them in the wild too, right?
You can.
Yeah.
Yes. And so they're often used in desserts, like
Mhm.
ice cream or cookies or stuff like that.
Wow.
So,
Mushroom ice cream. Who
Yeah.
would have thought?
right. So we decided to try this recipe with a toffee that's chocolate covered.
I'm gonna try some.
You should try some. They're really good. I've got to be careful when I'm making it. But there are some other mushrooms that we don't grow and that aren't known as edible. They aren't actually eaten because they're just too tough to eat. Like reishi is one. Also, there are reishi mushrooms that grow in the area. And I've actually foraged them here.
Do you grow portobello though?
No, portobello, that's an interesting thing. Portobello, butt mushroom, cremini mushroom,
Yeah.
and they're all the same species of mushroom. There,
Yeah, that is delicious.
it's not good.
Sorry, everybody. Wow. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on that recipe for quite a bit, so quite a few iterations before I got it right.
So I'll just let Chris finish the show. I gotta talk with you.
No problem. I can talk all day. You know me. Yeah, so we do I was talking about reishi, and it's great for blood health.
Yeah.
People find that it helps them sleep, get good sleep. Another great mushroom that's also indigenous to Santa Cruz and just about everywhere is turkey tail.
That's the stuff that that my son found.
Oh, turkey tail, yeah.
It grows on bark, right?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most studied mushrooms for its medicinal purposes. And it's being used for cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially breast cancer.
Hmm.
But it's a really nice, it's a very beautiful mushroom, very tough, kind of like leather. And people use it in their tea. So you can steep it in some hot water and then drink the tea. And it's got a pleasant flavor.
Yeah.
And it's good for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something that's good for you, that you can enjoy.
Yeah, and enjoy it too.
Like
right?
this chocolate.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah, it's good, really good for you.
Full of phytonutrients.
Yeah, absolutely. All the good stuff's in there.
Resveratrol and all that good stuff. So when we're talking about the medicinal part of mushrooms, and so if you just go and buy some mushrooms and cook them and eat them, are you getting some of the nutrients that are, in those mushrooms, or do they have to be refined more, or is there a dose that you're getting, or how do you recommend looking at that?
Oh, I love that question. Well, the short answer is yes. Buy mushrooms. You have to cook mushrooms to release the medicinal.
Huh. I did not know that.
Right. I mean, you can eat mushrooms raw, and sometimes they taste good.
Yeah.
But really, all you get out of them is just the water.
Just like a salad, you get mushrooms at one of the restaurants, and they cut it up and put it on salad. You're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, not really. Not much nutrients.
Okay.
The medicinal stuff really needs to be broke down by heating, simmering. If you saute them, even drying them heats them up and releases some of those medicines. So when we make tinctures, we use a dual extraction method. So we'll use a solvent, either like alcohol. Primarily, that's what we use as a grain alcohol, and leave them soaking in that for about 21 days.
Okay.
And then after that's completed, we'll take the pulp out and then simmer the pulp for about 24 hours.
Okay.
So the medicines that are solved by that are not solved by the alcohol will come out in the water.
So do you have both things? You have the alcohol tincture plus a water form of it, and they are different in their compounds or something like that?
Well, it's interesting because when you extract medicines from the mushrooms, that's called an extraction.
Okay.
And then when you extract medicines by using simmering in water, that's called a decoction.
Decoction.
Right.
Not a concoction, but a decoction.
When you combine them, that's a concoction.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
You're ahead of me.
Man, I learned a lot today.
Smart, man. I can't get much past you.
That's pretty cool. So you do have some of these. Which type of mushrooms do you focus on with that?
We focus on lion's mane.
Okay.
We have a couple of different kinds of lion's mane tincture. We have some combinations. We have one that's called Splendid Blend. It's got a couple of kinds of mushrooms and then a couple of herbs also. Okay. And then my favorite is Marvelous Mix. That's got 4 different mushrooms: chaga, reishi, lion's mane, and turkey tail. So
the turkey tail you don't grow?
No, we don't grow it, not yet.
And so those 3 you're getting somewhere else, and you're adding your own lion's mane to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So I have a question, and by the way, thank you for being here. This is Chris Phillips, the owner of Santa Cruz Mushrooms, a longtime friend with Dr. Duncan McCollum, McCollum Family Chiropractic, McCollum Wellness Radio. You can find this. We're doing this live on Facebook right now. I'm sure Chris will repost it. And on my YouTube channel, you can see the show, because we're zooming it, and it will be up on Dr. Duncan McCollum YouTube soon. And probably, how can they find you on the medium out there, social media?
Sure. So we have our website, santacruzmushrooms.com. We also have a YouTube channel, and I definitely will post this too. Yeah. And on Instagram, Santa Cruz_mushroom. So we're on Facebook too. So you can find us pretty much everywhere.
Cool. Yeah. And this is, again, Dr. Duncan McCollum. And, I just want to put a plug for my practice. I'm here to help people. Chris, you gave a great testimonial on all the years that we've been working together and fixing your knee. Now I have so much amazing stuff that it's just the equipment. I'm coming up with something new. It will improve hearing. The only thing on the planet that can improve hearing.
Are you kidding?
I'll be talking about that more. Tinnitus. So all you pay attention, tinnitus, vertigo, and hearing loss. So it's going to be about a couple months to roll it out, but it's pretty cool stuff. I'm very much excited about that. But in the meantime, we're working with people with peripheral neuropathy. We're making incredible changes with that. We have the soft wave therapy, hydrowave, and our Erconia lasers so that we can really change problems with joints, spines, knees, shoulders, all that kind of stuff. So y'all know where to find me over there in Brown Ranch, Dr. Duncan McCollum, McCollum Family Chiropractic.
Yeah.
So going just back to the medicinal end of this stuff. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. So we see so much stuff online about buy these mushrooms to cook or put in your coffee or this and that. How do we know we're getting a quality substance? I mean, I know I buy stuff all the time online, and I never use it. It sits on the shelf. I'm a sucker for it all the time. But what do you think about some of the stuff that's there? I mean, can we assume that some are decent and some maybe not be, or your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a quandary.
Yeah.
I've got some opinions about this. It might be a little controversial, but I think that there's a lot of regulation and stuff that's out there, and the idea of it is, I think it's good. It's to help people who are strangers do business. And it's having a third party there to kind of vouch for whoever is providing. And like there's like organic certification, for example. It's like, well, how do you know something's organic? Well, because this third party says it is.
Yeah, exactly. And what's that mean?
Right, exactly. What does it mean? And what are the loopholes and what's the red tape and all that? And I'm a real advocate for getting back to knowing the people you do business with.
Yeah.
And I try to do that. I try to buy from vendors that I know.
Yeah.
That I can go to their place of business and see how they're doing business. And I don't need a third person to vouch for them.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you can't do that in every case. There's a lot of cases where you just have to, hope for the best and trust.
Yeah, because not everybody has a mushroom shop on 17th Avenue in Santa Cruz.
That's right, but we do.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's one of the beauties of just, being able to come in and see.
Yeah.
See how we're growing it.
Yeah.
And if wherever you are, there probably is a farmer, a mushroom farmer, pretty close to you. And if you can go direct to them and establish a relationship, right? I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Talk to them, get to know them, see what you think about them, see if they're, they're the kind of person that you would want to do business with.
Yeah, that's really good information and advice in that, because we're right now, especially with all of the social media, there's so many people that want to come into your living room and say that they have your best interest in heart. They may or may not. I've been hoodwinked to make it take them out way more times than I would like to admit, and even to myself. And we're kind of like in a place where personal integrity is really important. And I know that, having known you since the millennium, the beginning, you got here in 1999. Yeah, before this century started, and we've developed a really great friendship, and it's great to have you here. So we got a little under 10 minutes. So anything that you want to freelance or talk about, different types of mushrooms, which are your favorite, how you cook certain ones, just take it away.
Yeah, let's talk about cooking, because that's probably the next really common question that I get. What do I do with these? How do I cook them? And the simple answer is it's very easy. It's just like those old fashioned grandma's butt mushrooms that you would take and chop them up and then toss them in a little butter or a little olive oil and little salt, pepper, saute them. They most, uh, especially the oyster mushroom varieties, very easy to cook and go very well with anything starchy.
Hmm.
So pasta,
Yeah.
potatoes.
Well, I gotta interrupt you though. You gave our office some the other day, and I made a chicken pasta with a few different variety of the
The oysters.
oyster mushrooms.
Yeah.
And man, it was amazing. Really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed that.
Now, a question: do you cut up the stem too, or use mainly just the leaf, or how do you use them? Because
Yeah,
they come on a big branch.
right, right. And it varies from one species to the next, which is one of the interesting things about oysters. Like you'll notice the golden oysters each have their own little stem.
Hmm.
Whereas like with the blue oysters, they're kind of all in just a clump.
Uh-huh.
And it varies a little bit from one species to the next, how tender the stem part of it is.
Uh-huh.
So the caps are always pretty tender, but sometimes the stems are a little woody or tough. And it's just your personal preference. They're all edible, they can be eaten.
Hmm.
Some people might like something that's got a little bit more of a chew to it,
Yeah.
and some people may not. The thing is, if you come in, we'll show you around and we'll answer all of your questions.
Yeah, that's cool. Chris Phillips, Santa Cruz Mushroom, and here's his emblem right here. You probably can't see it, but I'm just eating this dark chocolate candy cap caramel gift that you gave me, and it's really amazing. So, um, anyway, this has been a really great show. I'm so glad that we did this,
Me too.
and one of these days, isn't this an amazing station?
It's incredible. I mean, I feel like, wow, have I reached the big time now or what?
Well, and it's so many people, I wish more people took advantage of the station because this is the last RCA Victor station of its kind. They were built sometime in the 40s all over the United States. That was the state of the art. And you can see this is a sound machine. They would have live bands in here play music. And this is the only one that's still functioning as a radio show.
Wow.
Radio station. There's one more, I think, that's a museum or something, but this is something that anybody can come on and do shows. And, I would love to see AM radio get utilized more because it's such a cool medium. And where else do you get to just sit down with local people and talk about mushrooms?
Right, exactly.
Or, flooring or something like that.
Right.
So go ahead.
I love KSCO,
Yeah.
and I listened to so many hours
Yeah.
of programming on KSCO, especially when I was traveling. I was commuting over the
Yeah.
hill to go to work at doing some glass work or whatever. Yeah, it's such a great resource.
Yeah.
And you're right, just really underutilized. It's got me thinking, maybe there could be a mushroom show or something.
Well, definitely, and you were talking about getting to know people who you work with and who you're buying from or you're doing business with. And, I was thinking as you were saying that, what better way than to have people on local radio talking about what they do?
Right.
I mean, you can walk into a lot of the shops around here, especially ones that aren't owned by business owners that are affiliated with it directly. And you might talk to somebody who has, there's a lot of really good people to sell you stuff or help you, but a lot of people, that's just like you said, it's a job to make money and nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you have found, and I just want to go back to how we started this, is you found a niche that when I asked you a while ago, I said, hey man, you want to come and look at a shower doors? He goes, I don't do shower doors. I do mushrooms. And I went, oh yeah, slap. That's right. This guy is doing what he loves to do. And you've poured every ounce of your love and integrity into doing this. And it's just great to see you doing so well. You used to have a big truck had showcase shower doors on it.
That's right.
Now you need one with big old mushrooms on
I
it.
do. Maybe a mushroom shaped truck. Wouldn't
That
that be cool?
would be cool. So
Yeah.
again, why don't you tell people where they can get a hold of you, what kind of mushrooms you have available usually, and have them mention the show when they come in.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's interesting is we control the climate where our mushrooms grow, but just the humidity and the airflow, not the temperature. So as a result of that, as the temperature changes throughout the year, we change the species of mushrooms that we grow.
Huh.
Because some mushrooms like colder temperatures and some like warmer temperatures.
Yeah.
So throughout the summer, we're growing these varieties that you see here.
These, yeah, because you haven't brought these that much. You brought
Right.
the other oysters, but the pink one was something that you brought this last week, and went, whoa, look at these. These are beautiful.
They look like roses, kind
Yeah,
of, don't
they're
they?
very pretty.
Yeah. So you can find us at 1970 17th Avenue in Santa Cruz, Live Oak, really close to Live Oak Grange
Yeah.
Hall. And we're open Tuesday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 4.
There's your sign right on the front of the building.
Yeah, there's a mushroom sign right there. Stop in, say hi. We just love to talk about mushrooms, even if you just want to look around and see it.
And what's your website again?
It's called SantaCruzMushrooms.com.
And your Instagram.
Instagram is Santa Cruz _mushroom without the S.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Duncan.
Yeah, you bet. So very happy for y'all out there listening. Tell some friends about KSCO. Let's see if we can revive the station. You know, MC's been carrying the torch for a long time, and we need some people that love to talk to the community. And this is the best venue I know of, because you just sit here and people tune in and they're digging holes in their ground, or ironing their clothes, or cleaning their house, and they're finding out about local people. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so again, Dr. Duncan McCollum, McCollum Wellness Radio. This has been Chris Phillips with Santa Cruz Mushroom. We really appreciate you tuning in. And when you go see Chris, tell him that you heard us on the radio. And when you come in to see me, tell me or my staff you heard us. We really appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week.